role is to be in that chair, to communicate as best as I possibly can, not to make too many mistakes, to try and get the news out. It's something I really enjoy. I love it. I've got to say, I've probably been doing this sort of thing for about 20 to 30 years now.
Yeah.
The first 20 years, I did all the interviewing, I asked all the questions, and I was very comfortable doing that. But as you do more and more presenting, and also as you do more and more charity work and more emceeing, you start going on to the other side of the interview ledger, if you like. So I'm doing more and more of it. When I look back, the thing that I remember and I enjoy the most has been the journey. So I came from a small country town of Tamworth. I had no real public speaking or debating skill or anything like that. I was a fairly shy sort of kid at school. And my plan was to stay in Tamworth and be a vet. That's what I was planning to do in years 10 and 11. Sadly failed physics, chemistry and 3 at maths. But I was pretty good at English and pretty good at history, so my teachers came to me in year 12 and said, look, what if you do something with your writing ability? So it was only then that I started to think about journalism, and only then that I started to really apply myself down that path. And I had to learn how to meet and greet different people in different walks of life on a daily basis. So they were skills that I really had to learn quite quickly. I feel now I have those skills. I can walk into just about any room and feel quite comfortable and have that ability to go up to anyone in any walk of life and say, g'day, how are you? How are things going? Have a chat, get to know them, let them get to know me, and then proceed from there. Ethics are very important, and those sorts of issues arise on a daily basis, I think in most jobs, but certainly within the media, because often you're dealing with tragic events, with compelling events, so ethics are there all the time. And I guess personally I try to deal with them by doing the right thing. What seems to be the right thing, what feels like doing the right thing. If you're doing a live interview, what's pushing it too far? If someone's under duress, if someone's really struggling, I think you've got to tread very carefully. So for me it just comes back to my moral code and making sure that I feel like I'm doing the right thing. There's a code of ethics for journalists. I think they're very important. They should be followed. And with anything, there's always a shade of grey, and I think you've just got to come back to your own moral code and say, well, am I doing the right thing here? I think if you're in a position where you can help, it's a fantastic thing to do. And you know, there are times where I am in a position and I can help a group or help someone get their message across, and it's a good thing to do, and personally it's a very satisfying thing to do. You know, there are some aspects of my job that are tough. You don't draw a lot of personal satisfaction from it, but one of the wonderful things is helping a charity, helping a group, helping a cause. And if they come to you and say, Mark, could you do X, Y and Z for us, and you're able to do it, and you're able to do it well and do a good job, and get them some traction and get them some coverage or get them some ability to raise a few more dollars or draw a few more people into a room, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's one of the things I really do enjoy about my job. It's great to go out to the schools. Fair Go for the West is a fantastic campaign. This is our second year we've just finished, and we do it in conjunction with the Daily Telegraph. And again, that's a way of highlighting what's happening in a particular part of Sydney, a very rapidly expanding part of Sydney, a very proud part of Sydney, and I think a part of Sydney that maybe 20 years ago was getting a bit of a rough go. And not getting the coverage that they deserved, and it's wonderful to be part and parcel of that. It would be nice to see, I've said on record before, within the media a bit more diversity, a bit more ethnic diversity. It would be wonderful to see reporters on air from different walks of life. That would be a wonderful thing to see, and I sometimes think when I go out and see the many different groups and many different cultures within Sydney, I don't think that's fully represented on air in a lot of, whether it be radio or TV, across all the different channels. It would be wonderful to see a little bit more ethnic diversity on the telly or there. And I'm still learning as I go. I think all of us learn as we go. But for me, the art of communication is to be yourself, is to be genuine, is to be real. And I can see that when I meet people in different walks of life. You know, I can meet someone who I go, oh, you're just sort of pretending on the other side of the screen there, or you're just sort of pretending through this interview. And it's wonderful to meet someone and you go, wow, that was the real deal. I really met that person. And when you meet that in any walk of life, they are communicating very, very well.